What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year. Welcome to the NBA DFS contenders for DraftKings on Friday, January 1st, the first slate of 2021. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. I'm back. I'm in. I don't have house guests any longer. So keep your eyes peeled at my Twitter account, at Josh Engleman, around 6 p.m. tonight. That's where I will drop my updates to FanDuel and to DraftKings. Yeah, FanDuel. There's a FanDuel link to a video just like this somewhere around here. Click the link. Go watch it. It's great. Finally, let me know in the comments section, who are your favorite options on DraftKings for tonight's 10 gamer? Desmond Bane, Jason Tatum, Tristan Thompson, Otto Porter, Zach LaVINE round out the bottom of my top 10. Who will be my top 5, my favorites for today, with one guy on a completely different stratosphere? It's time to find out. First up, number 5, I'm going to JRUE Holiday. Point guard eligibility, 6,600. Projected for 36 fantasy points, GPP goal of 43. I think he hits the goal 22% of the time. It's enough to put him in the optimal lineup 17% of the time. Giving him 34 minutes, 22% usage, about 18, 5.5, and 4.5. It's a pace-up spot, a big pace-up spot against the Bulls. Bulls a little bit shorthanded, not very good either. Excellent spot for the Bucks. You're a little nervous about the blowout, but I think JRUE Holiday would also be a part of that. He's a 1.1-ish fantasy point per minute guy. This is a spot that I want to load up because 6,600, that price tag works in a high-paced game. 106.7 is how many possessions I'm expecting in this one for Milwaukee. 4.5 more than they normally get. This is the spot. Grab yourself some JRUE Holiday. Next up, number 4, I'm going to JUSUF NURKIC. Only center eligibility, but 6,700. The minutes have been a little weird, but I don't think that that's going to be the long-term outlook. I'm still bringing them down a bit. I'm giving them 29 minutes. I still have him projected for 35 fantasy points with a goal of 43. It's like a 1.2 fantasy point per minute guy. I'm not going crazily away from that number. I got him projected for 13.5, 10, and almost 4 assists. That's an excellent baseline. You get a steal, you get a block, maybe you get a couple more than that, really push the number up. Golden State's defense is absolutely terrible. This is a monstrous pace-up spot for Portland. They're going to gain almost 7 additional possessions in this game just from taking on Golden State. It all points to NURKIC having a really nice game. Hits his goal 18% of the time, shows up in the optimal 17% of the time, and I think he's an excellent center option on tonight's slate because the Warriors just don't have what it takes to slow him down. But if NURKIC isn't your cup of tea today, we're taking a monstrous step up in tier. 25% of the time, Thomas Bryant is in the optimal lineup at the center spot. 6,300, projected for 37 fantasy points, a GPP goal of north of 41. I'm giving him 32 minutes, neutral usage rate, 20%, 18.5 and 8.5 as a baseline projection. He's normally like a 1.05 fantasy point per minute guy, but he's taking on Minnesota. This is a great spot. No Karl Anthony Towns, no real defense to speak of in the front court, and arguably one of the 5 worst defenses in the league just in general. It's a relatively pace-neutral spot for the Wizards, but it's still going to be an up-tempo affair. All of these signs point to Thomas Bryant having an excellent matchup, a great price tag, and a great chance of being in the optimal. Again, 25%. That's a big step up over NURKIC. It's not that I don't like NURKIC. He's enough to be in number 4, but Bryant is that next tier, number 3 today. At the number 2 spot, I'm going THADDEUS Young. Power forward eligibility, just 3,500. Working his way back, but the Bulls are shorthanded, COVID restrictions, so I gave Thad Young 28 minutes. Close to an average usage rate. You're getting a little bit of everything here. About 11 points, 5 boards, couple assists, maybe a steal or 2. This is just excellent value on a slate that doesn't have a ton of crazy pay down options. We'll get to one in a second. I'm projecting him for 26 fantasy points. You're only really needing about 27 or so in a GPP. You know, if you can get north of 30, that would be great. I see no reason that can't happen. He hits his goal 39% of the time. He's in the optimal 30% of the time. Difficult spot against Milwaukee. Defense is good, but solid paced matchup for Chicago. They're going to get out to run. If Thad Young's playing 28 minutes or more, this is an incredible spot. You don't get those sorts of minutes at this salary tier, especially for a guy that will be at least mildly involved in the offense. Thad Young, number 2. But before we get to that number 1 spot, one last reminder, hit the like button. It's What a great way to start off 2021 by running the likes up as high as we can on this video. Subscribe to the channel, but follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. You don't want to miss these updates. I'm diving in hardcore to the NBA now that the holiday season is over. Don't miss it. Check it out. Around 6 p.m., gonna post the updates, top 10s on FanDuel, top 10s on DraftKings. And speaking of FanDuel, find the link, watch the video. The views are great. And if you're playing on both sites, why would you only want to watch one? You should go check them both out. Now it's time to move on to number one. There's basically no way around this one. RAUL NETO, number one, assuming Russell Westbrook is sitting out for the back-to-back. NETO is going to soak up monstrous playing time like he did a couple days ago. I'm giving him 30 minutes. That could actually be a pessimistic projection. Point guard, shooting guard eligibility, only 3,400. I've got him projected for 29 fantasy points. He's about a 1 fantasy point per minute guy. His goal at that salary is only 27. He hits that goal 62% of the time. Look at this number. He is in the optimal lineup more than half of the time, 52% in fact. 14-4-4 as the baseline projection, an excellent spot against a Minnesota team that isn't very good defensively. As I mentioned before, you have to go here. He's a no-brainer cash option once we're confirming that Russell Westbrook is out. He's going to be in an almost infinite amount of GPP lineups, as he should. He is the most cost-efficient player of the slate. Getting the additional shooting guard eligibility is super helpful as well. That's just one more spot that he can be in your roster. Look, you got to have him tonight. You're going to need quite a bit. If he gets north of 50% in ownership, don't be afraid to be a little bit lighter in GPPs, but cash game lock, RAUL NETO, the number one contender for the first day of 2021. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for January 1st. Not going to have this on Saturday or Sunday. We take the weekends off for the contenders, but I will be back again Monday morning with another edition of the contenders. Good luck tonight, guys. Enjoy your new year.